What's up, Festival Trap producers? It's Max from Futureproof Music School. Today, we're going to be going over how to make your own festival trap drop like ISO, Knock2, Nghtmre, and more. If you want to watch the whole course on how to make festival trap, head to futureproofmusicschool.com and start your 7-day trial today.
All right, so reminder on what the drop synths sound like. Let's just play it through real quick.
It was all in my head.
Yeah. Okay. So for that like Isoxo festival trap, you know, hard hitting kind of percussive lead, a lot of times we have two separate lanes. So we'll have like the sub and then we'll have the top harmonic kind of plucky synth happening. And so I'm going to go over each of those separately. And I'm going to show you how I achieve that sound. So first thing I did in order to find like the right tonality and everything, I searched through a bunch of different samples and I found this like perc. It sounds like this initially. Ooh, sounds like this. So with that sound, it's kind of just like airy, but it has a very obvious note on the bottom part of it. So that's what I was looking for. It almost sounds like a percussive flute or something. Just like an airy one note tone thing. So just going back here, I clipped the initial little transient thing off of it. So it just hits immediately. I turned the out down so that it doesn't like go on for forever. And then I pulled the multiplier up so that it's like super long. And then I turned it down and tried to match the note of the song, kind of. So I found the note, and so it's like a seventh semitone above the root, something like that, which, you know, is -5 semitones as well. So I knew that it was somewhere around there. So I turned it down and then EQ'd it once again. I wanted a little more of the noise and stuff and that harsh kind of high frequency similar to the snare, which is like that 1500 range. And so now we got that on. Let's pull up the piano roll as well so you can see what I'm doing on there. You can just kind of bounce around with the notes. And I really like to usually use this this bend feature in the piano roll as well. It's like it's the cymbal, just allows you to pick how long you want the bend to go based on this and to what pitch. So, you know, obviously the first note is bending downwards for this length. So I'm bending down to the next note here. And it's a similar kind of thing. You're just droning that fifth or whatever it is. You're just kind of droning that frequency and going one note above it or one note lower than it and kind of playing with that tone. That's the whole idea behind this synth. And then let's see, what else did I do? I mono based it with Youlean stereo tools again. And then I brought up the loudness of it with Soundgoodizer. And then I dirted it up with Destructor. And then I have this speaker on. And that kind of gives it like a widening effect usually, or like a kind of like a small room reverb kind of sound to it. And so that's what I'm doing essentially with this. Kind of reduces the brightness of it as well, which I preferred. So that's everything on there. And then I have this LuxVerb. And with LuxVerb, there's this extra special segment in here that is the envelope section. With it, you can essentially sidechain the initial signal to the reverb, so it ducks out of the way of the reverb and keeps like your initial signal super loud. It doesn't like cloud the mix and stuff. So I put it on decay, and then I just watched this meter and I played with the threshold and the scale until I got something that I liked. So with it being 100% up on the threshold, it's blurry. It's like all over the place. You like the signals are running into each other and stuff. But if you pull it down, you can now see like the red. You can see like the signal being ducked. Okay, so that's how we achieve that. And then lastly, with the reverb, this is another trick. I have it turning on and off so that it just gets out of the way of other elements, so that it creates more dynamics. So I don't know if you can hear it, but there's this little automation clip happening. 100% on, off. Okay, so that's just kind of creating this like opening and closing and like movement in the sound. And so that's important with these types of sounds, since we're going to be droning that note and like being up there so much in that like 7th semitone range or whatever, that like bright piercing sound. It's good to like have little things like that changing so that it doesn't stay stagnant. You know, if you wanted to automate the distortion or like do other little things, all that kind of contributes to like a moving sound, and that's what we want. So, and then underneath it, we have the sub. So the sub was created in Vital. And we have it's just following the same notes essentially. Except it's going on the root. So instead of like the 7th semitone, now we're just down to the root, which is D. You know, pretty simple. Just in order to achieve this, oh, I'm on the wrong one, am I? Yeah, it's this one. It's just literally just an 808. I mean, you could use an 808, or you could use just like a sine wave. And then the important part is we have it kind of moving a little. So I have it on a 16th note, and I have it going upwards by an octave just to give it that like punch. Boom, 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 boom. You know, you just drag it over onto here and pull it up by 12, and then you got it. So that's that. You know, we got some decay on it as well, and same thing with the sub here. We got a little bit of decay, and that's the sub there. In order to finish it off, we have a destructor on with abrasive, which is creating that kind of noisy bypass, that noise on top. See, and then with got that like abrasive, you know, noise layer. This part not entirely necessary, but Bit Jam also creates a little bit of noise, so you can play with the knobs on there, asymmetry, you know, in the preamp and stuff, and get a little bit more grit. Speaker again, you know, reducing the highs and kind of putting it in like a little mini cabinet or a little space. And then high passing it so that there's not two subs. And again, we're using the same technique. We're mixing it in. Sick. Sounds good. Soundgoodizer. Bring it up to speed, or bring it up to volume. And now together. Yeah, let's go.